Apathy, lack of engagement, lack of energy, poor work, absenteeism. Do you see this in your team or your organization? There are many reasons why this type of behavior would happen, whether it is for your team, your colleagues, or yourself. One of the key reasons usually proposed is people's lack of motivation. And if you are managing people, you will feel that responsibility to motivate them at work. Surely, if you are motivated, they should be motivated too, shouldn't they? In this video, I will walk you through why trying to motivate people is not the answer, what works to change people's motivation outlook, and some practical tools you can use for your team and yourself. My name is Greg Angelbert. I've had an about 20-year corporate life where I went from being a trainee to eventually being a vice president and managing director of a business. And from managing myself to eventually managing about 1,000 people. Today I'm a mentor, coach, and I'm helping people and organizations reach the level of performance that they desire to achieve. A staff's lack of motivation can manifest in the following ways. Your staff may lack the energy and drive to complete tasks and meet deadlines. They may seem disengaged or disinterested in their work and may not participate in team meetings or other activities. They may express dissatisfaction or frustration with their work or may complain about their job or the company. They may be taking more sick days or be absent from work more frequently. They may not want to take on new tasks or projects or may not volunteer for additional responsibilities. They may produce work that is subpar or that does not meet the standards expected. And they may resist new ideas or changes in the workplace. Some of those symptoms can come from many different or other factors, including health issues. So make sure that you engage with your staff to understand whether it's a motivation problem or if it's a health problem or something else. What is motivation? It is a reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. Those reasons can be on one side external or extrinsic, which means that they are pushed towards you. And your motivation outlook is dependent on this reaction to what is pushed towards you. I am doing this task because I have to. Like if your house is on fire, you have a very high external motivation to go and extinguish the fire. Or in a company, the promise of a bonus if a project is concluded positively. This type of motivation only goes so far. It's pretty good for routine tasks, but it won't get you too far with people who need to apply strong creativity in their work, which is pretty much most people nowadays. And the reasons for acting can be intrinsic or internal to you. I'm doing this task because I want to. This is the self-concept. It is the overall idea we have about who we are, and it includes the cognitive and affective judgments about ourselves. As part of this self-concept, there is our self-ideal, which is who we aspire to be. It's about our goals, our dreams, our ideas. It's influenced in a company by the corporate culture, peers, bosses. Another part is the self-image, which is the way the person thinks she's viewed by others. It depends on how you are being treated every day. Positive feedback improves self-image. And finally, self-esteem, which is how much you like yourself. To be intrinsically motivated, you need to align your self-concept with the task that you're planning to do. Susan Fowler, in Why Motivating People Doesn't Work and What Does, explains that there are 3 core psychological needs that we need to satisfy if we ever want to be able to be fully committed to what we choose to do. The first one is autonomy, which is our human need to perceive we have choices. It is our need to feel that what we're doing is of our own volition. It is our perception that we are the source of our actions. The second need is relatedness, which is our need to care about and be cared about by others. It is our need to feel connected to others without concerns about ulterior motives. It is our need to feel that we are contributing to something greater than ourselves. The third need is competence, which is our need to feel effective at meeting everyday challenges and opportunities. It is demonstrating skill over time. It is feeling a sense of growth and flourishing. How high people are satisfied with their autonomy, relatedness, and competence drives their entire motivation outlook. And in that motivation outlook, people can go from totally disinterested to be totally integrated with what they are doing. What do you see your staff stands if they would be rating their autonomy, relatedness, and competence from 1 to 10? Where do you stand if you rate them? You like this video so far? Then you know what to do, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to receive more content like that every week, as well as putting notifications on. For summary of the key points of this video and access to all the tools that I am giving you, you can subscribe to my Patreon in the link below. And check out the videos also in the description about the same topic from other YouTubers and YouTube channels. There's plenty out there which can complement this video today. What is the need for autonomy of your staff? I bet you started answering this question with saying, I think that, or something a little bit like that. This is what you think, but not necessarily what they think. How do you know what they think? Well, ask them. Not everyone will want a high level of autonomy. A young recruit who is starting on the job and it's the first few days will feel totally helpless if you give that person 100% autonomy in their job. Equally, if you do not give autonomy to somebody who has 10 years experience in their job, what you're going to probably get is a lot of resistance and disengagement. Let's apply some coaching technique here to be able to assess where your staff is on the autonomy spectrum. You can use those questions with them. How much do you think you have choice about your own work? How much autonomy would you like to have in your job? What can I do to help you build your confidence in your role so you can have more choice in your work? Relatedness is a story of alignment. People come to work with their own system of beliefs, values, goals, and personalities. You can cascade top-down the values, the care even for your staff, and some goals. That won't change how they want to be cared for, or their values or their goals. And that won't definitely not change their personalities. One way or another, you need to find a level of alignment between who they are and what you're trying to be as a team, as an organization, for what you're trying to achieve together. You'll never reach 100% alignment. The diversity of people is what makes the wealth of your staff. By asking about who people are, what makes them vibe, and sharing it within the team, you will be able to define what brings you together. And also you will help raise everyone's autonomy in the process. Again, here you can use some coaching technique to bring this alignment in relatedness. What is important for you in your life? What would you like to accomplish? How does that relate to the work we do in this team, this organization? What are your core values, the things that you deeply care for? How much do you see those values represented in our team, our organization? How much do you feel that we have a clear vision that you buy in? What would be a vision that would make you feel highly connected to the team? Competence is about our human need to learn and also our need to be recognized for what we're good at, for the fact that we are growing people. Parents do that all the time with their kids. With every milestone like walking, talking, parents will wax lyrical about the wonders of what the kid has achieved. And that reinforces the child's desire to learn more. Let's use those coaching questions with your team to assess where they are with their competence and how you can help them grow it. How competent do you feel about performing your role, your job? What could make you more competent in your role? What work would you be interested to do to best express what you are good at? How can I help you learn more? How much do you feel recognized when you complete or achieve a task, reach a milestone? How can I acknowledge you in the best way for your work accomplishments, your mastery of a topic? By the way, each one of us has a different way of wanting to be acknowledged for when we are good at something. Check out this video about the 5 love languages that can be used in the office for yourself, with your team, with each other, with colleagues. It's very powerful to create intrinsic motivation. Everything in this video was about looking at your staff as a manager. But this is equally applicable to your coworkers around you, and it's also applicable to yourself. In other words, start with leading by example. If you live a life where you clearly understand yourself, you can articulate what is your need for autonomy, relatedness, and competence, then your staff will see it and they will emulate you. The more you find ways of helping your staff with autonomy, relatedness, competence, the more you find ways of building this environment around them, the more you will help them with intrinsic motivation. And a very positive aspect of that is you will need less of focus on extrinsic motivation like carrots and sticks, but you still need to reward your people fairly.